Welcome to Check In with Mama Wade. I am Mama Wade, and just out of my mind to have you here with me this morning. Today, we're going to talk about brain function and a healthy brain. And I also have a brain test that I want to bring today so that you all can be able to take it either while the session is going on, or you can go to my YouTube page, which it will be posted up there, and you'll be able to see it and be able to take it in even more. Um, it's check my YouTube channel is Check In with Mama Wade. Check in with Mama Wade. Good afternoon, Brother Mac. Good to see you. Good to see you. So this is, like I said, one of the most very important subjects as well. This is the month of July. Welcome to July. You know, last month we did men's health. Today I'm calling this month here the month of empowerment. The different guests that I will have on today is going to bring us once again more information to make us more aware so that we can be more empowered. Much love to you as well, Safari. So I pray that this be able to um, I pray that this be able to help you as we get ready to go into our teaching today. Once again, if you want to contact me, you go to my website as well, www.jolindawade.com. Leave me a message in the message box. Look at some of the things that I have on there and send me a message if you think you can bring some type of depth to this program, this show that I do have, Better Health, Better Me. Check in with Mama Wade. Then, talk to me. Let's see how we can get in here and how we can help people with maybe something we don't went through, somebody in our family don't went through, or some information that you might have that might be able to help the people, because that's what Check In with Mama Wade is about. Better Health, Better Me. It's about making people aware so that they can experience a more fruitful life. Good to see you as well. Limitless 52. Good to see you. Paso Lavelle Short Jr. Great to see you. Just Crises have joined on my Instagram. Great to see you, my Instagram family. Great to see you, my Facebook family. Once again, you go to my YouTube channel, Check In with Mama Wade. And while you're there, subscribe and look at some of the programs that I've already done. And you can also be able to look at this particular program. My tech guy, I bless him so much, Brother Mac McClinton. He has it always put up there so that you would be able to see what we're talking about, because one of the shows might really be a connection to you. One of the shows might really be a connection to you. Much love to you as well. Limitless 52, forever and always. Okay, so are you ready? Tell your friends. Share this. Share this if you can. Share this teaching with someone else after it, or you can share it now and maybe they'll be able to tune in as well. Okay, let me get my banner thing set up here in case I have to create a banner. All right, so brain function. What is the brain, first of all? The brain is an organ, it's a complex organ, rather, that controls thoughts, memory, motor skill, emotion, touch, vision, breathing, temperature, hunger, and every process that regulates our body. Together, the brain and spinal cord that extends from it makes up the central nervous system. Knowing all the things that I have just named, great to see you, Stefani. Knowing all the things that I have just named lets you know we got to take care of that organ, that brain organ, that's within our body. Just like we take care of our physical body, we got to take care of that brain organ. The mind, the body, and the spirit are connected, and they must work together for us to have optimal health. That's better health, better me. The mind, the body, and the spirit, they must work together in order for us to have and experience our better health, better me. Let's talk about the healthy brain. You will see me reading a few times off of the lesson that I do have for you today, but that's because I want to bring you precise information. It's very important that you get it precisely. Hey, niece, Diane Bowman Hines, thank you for seeing. Let me see your name come up. All right. Now, we know the importance of taking care of our bodies, correct? By exercising, eating the proper foods, staying away from the cigarettes, staying away from the drugs, and staying away from alcohol. Alcohol have its place in our lives. Alcohol, our bodies can only consume so much alcohol before it start having an effect. A drink here or there, 1, 2 a day, whatever, it's not dangerous. But when we go into a place of overly drinking, really anything out of moderation is dangerous for our health. Anything. So we have been told that if we do this, if we stop drinking, if we stop drugging, if we stop doing the alcohol, if we eat right, if we exercise right, we're told that this will help us to live a long and productive life. Correct? Well, this is not entirely true. If you ever visit a nursing home or you ever went to some of the hospitals, you find that a majority of them patients have a mild to severe loss of mental function. Now, I started out letting you know what that brain organ controls, right? So in there, and that's true, I watched my mom. When my mom was going through her dementia place, I watched her as her brain start deteriorating, right? Some of us don't have to be old. Some of us don't have to be like my mom was like in her 80s and 90s and it started declining. Well, some of us don't have to be that age. Some of us can be the age that I am now. Yes, guess it. And some of us can be younger and start experiencing these mental declines. So there's something wrong with advice that tells us how to live longer, but at the same time gives us little advice on promoting healthy brain activities. Our brain is a muscle, okay? Who wants to finish life in a depressing institution because we lost brain function? Not me. And I want you to say, not me. I do not say it. I do not want my life to end up with me being in a institution because I lost my brain function. Say it to yourself. Okay? You can have a perfectly healthy body. My mama's body was the bomb. But if your brain isn't functioning properly, the quality of life is minimal. If your brain isn't functioning properly, your life is minimal. No matter what else might be wrong physically, a full functioning brain gives you the chance to control and shape the environment around you. And we know a lot of us that come on here, my thing was the diabetes thing. and then it went to diabetes, blood pressure, blah, blah. So physically, my body is being challenged. But as long as I have my brain functioning, it gives me a chance to control and shape my environment. Once again, what are we saying, guys? Let me hear you say it with me. Better health, better me. Let me hear you say it again. Type it in. Better health, better me. Okay? So the amount of control is related to the skills and abilities that you have developed over your lifetime and how much you use them. A lot of us don't use our brain anymore like we should. And I'm going to just say it. These cell phones that are very, very useful for our lives have taken a lot of our memories. It was a time, and I lived in the time when we didn't have cell phones. And I mean, we used to can remember somebody's phone number like it wasn't nothing in a black book. Now, when a person says, or I say, what's that person number? The phone got my memory now. Now I have to go on the phone, find the name in order for me to be able to call the individual, because it's convenient for us. But I stopped using, I'm talking about Jolinda Wade. I stopped using my brain muscle. A lot of people like working with puzzles. I used to love some of them puzzles. Oh my goodness. But because I don't exercise that brain muscle, then when I do my puzzles, and I still have my puzzle book here, it's not like I used to do it. The TV also have taken control of our brain, because a lot of us won't turn it off so that we can sit back and read, work out some math problems, even if the math problems is 1 + 1. Now I'm going to show you, because the brain test is going to be able to show you how you working a math problem is very, very important to certain motor skills that we have in our brains. It's very, very important. You might say, well, I know what 1 + 1 is. Well, go in some of the nursing home where a lot of people have lost their motor skills, their functioning brain, and ask them what 1 and 1 is. I hope I'm talking to somebody. I don't care what you're going through physically. The center that gets the most attention needs to be your brain. That's why today's empowerment, I believe, is great for you, for your family, for your community. Brain function. A young man named Vernon H. Mark, MD, who is a neurosurgeon, and he's also the author of the book Brain Power, a neurosurgeon's complete program to maintain and enhance brain fitness throughout your life. He did a research in the brain and its functions. And in his book, the book I just named, he explains 4 things that determine the basic function of a healthy brain. 4 things, and I'm going to share them with you. The first, the physical structure of the brain and its chemical environment. That's one thing that's very important to determine the basic function of your healthy brain. Number 2, the moment-to-moment information from the outside world and the rest of the body. Because I told you that the brain and the spinal cord that extends from it, they control the nervous system. So your body and your brain are communicating at all times. They're communicating. The body is communicating with the brain at all time. What about the moment-to-moment things that happen in our lives? These things are communicating with our brain. So that means, I'm going to say this here, be careful of your moments. Be careful of the moments that you allow yourself to experience. Be very careful of it. Don't keep experiencing drastic moments. You got to have some dream moments, baby. You got to have some moments that make you shout. You got to have some moments where you're exercising your brain. You know, you're memorizing. What about memorizing something? You know, make it just like, okay, I'm gonna memorize this. If you're if you're a Bible person, you might want to memorize the scripture. You're exercising your brain when you memorize the scripture instead of allowing a person to read it to you all the time. How about you open up the book and you memorize it yourself? If you are in school, memorize certain parts of your work that you have to do. Use your memory skill, a moment-to-moment thing that's happening that's actually strengthening your brain. Number 3, the information stored from past experiences. A lot of things that we experience are in that brain. You know I'm telling the truth because it'll come up sometimes. Sometimes bad memories will come up, you know, and it'll, you know, send you because the body and the brain communicates. It'll send you sometime into a depressed place. Am I talking to somebody? Or it'll send you into a happy place, the memories. You know, they'll send you into a happy place, but the past experiences that you have, they are also stored in the brain. 4, the relationship made in the brain between present and past information. They work together. I'm trying to show you how it's not just a singular thing. Everything have a specific function that they do in our bodies connected with our brain. Everything have a specific thing that they do. New and stimulating surroundings are just one of many environment factors that can contribute to improved brain function. Get out the house sometime. Go to someplace new. We got 12 months in a year. Out of that 12 months in a year, plan to take you a vacation. Your vacation might not be where you can get on a plane and go somewhere. It might just simply be in another part of the town that you live in. Getting in the car or getting you on a bus or getting on a train or walking to a different part of your neighborhood where you can stimulate your brain with the new surroundings that you have noticed or came in contact with. Because you remember, the organ it also controls the vision. It also controls the vision. Okay, when nothing interesting or challenging happens, those factors stop contributing to the brain environment. Let me say that again. When nothing interesting or nothing challenging happen in your life, them factors there will contribute to your brain environment, which results in changes in your brain function. So your brain needs to be stimulated with something new. It needs to have something challenging. Or other than that, what I'm reading, the brain is just, the environment of the brain can't go nowhere. That's just like, let me put it like this. That's just like a person who never leaves the block. Never leaves the block. Have not been outside of the neighborhood. That's the same thing you do with your brain. You never let it leave the block. You never take it outside of the neighborhood, and you never use it. You never use it. If you ever just say, well, you know what? I always wondered what was going on over on that side of town. Maybe you live in a city. Go to a suburb and just ride around and look at some of the environments. Challenge your brain. Take it outside. Take it outside. Sometimes it's great if it's just for a moment. And I know a lot of people don't like to go outside, but go outside. Or grab you a book, a world book, and visit some of the countries by reading. You know, another place that you can go that'll stimulate your brain? Go to a museum. Yeah, go to your museum in your city or your state. Find out what is the best museum I can go to. You know, art museum. Challenge it. Let your brain explore. Go to a museum that have all of the World Museum that has all the things that are in different parts of the city. Oh my God, it would be such an awesome experience. And it's an awesome experience for your brain. Limited says, sounds like the brain needs new stimuli to continue healthy function. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Other than that, just like I just read, the result of it would be the change that it would change the brain function. That means your brain is stuck in that neighborhood or in that environment that you have, that it is in at that moment. Now, it's true that normal people, a large number of brain cells, it's true that in normal people, a large number of brain cells do die every year and they do not regenerate. We're talking about normal people, okay? What many people don't know, though, is that our brain, God bless giving us that organ, it makes compensation for our brain cell loss as we get older. Look at the brain working for us. Look at the brain working for us. It makes compensation for that brain because we all have that normal brain, and we do start losing some cells. Some cells do die, and our brain will make compensation for it. Oh, y'all know the scripture. You know I'm going to bring you one. In the Bible, Psalms 139, David wrote, King David, he said, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, complex as I am, but I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I just had to get that in there. So we do lose brain cells every year. Y'all hearing me? We lose it every year. Whew. Jesus. And if we live long enough, our brain mass will become smaller if we live long enough. Understand this. However, two things occur in normal, healthy brain that's compensating from the slow cell loss. Let me give you them two things. The sheath, which is the protective covering around the fibers that carry the nerve impulses away from the nerve cells, they become thicker with fatty substance called myelin. And the thickening of the myelin sheath is correlated with increasing function throughout life. It begins to thicken as a baby begins to discover the world around them. And this thickening increases the efficiency of the transmission of the electrical signals in our brain. The sheath. Number two, the fibers that bring impulses to the brain develop more branches, producing improved communication between all of our remaining cells. Fearfully and wonderfully made. The better your brain cells communicate with each other, the better able you are to do the mental and physical things that you want. Let's bring in some communication, baby. Let's bring in some communication with our brain. If you haven't been doing this, it's okay because you can start today. Today's challenge can be your victory. Today's challenge can be today's victory. Let me say it like that. It's up to you. Don't sell your brain short. Your brain will let you know when something is off, when your equilibrium isn't balanced. Your brain would do that. As we learn more about the brain function, which I'm going to bring on more conversation because there's a lot, we just can't do today and think that's it. Hi, Rita. Listen. You'll realize that when brain function begins to fail, that it's really not a sign of old age. I said that. It can happen when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, and on. Instead, what's happening is a sign of disease, injury, or neglect. You choose it. It's a sign of disease, injury, or neglect. So are we neglecting our brain? I know for many years I neglected mine, not so much today. It's a warning that signal that something is wrong that needs to be fixed. Something is wrong that needs to be fixed. All right. Great time. Are you all ready for the brain function test? I'm going to be giving you at least look like six brain functioning tests. So how can you tell if someone or you have a normal brain function? These tests are designed, that I'm going to give you, to discover if the brain is functioning normally. So your assignment is going to be to perform these tests on someone you know, or have someone to perform them on you. Once again, go to my YouTube page, if you don't get it all now, where you can sit back, be comfortable, and you can be able to take it from there. Okay? You can be able to write them tests down, and you can take it from there. You give it to someone, and someone will give it to you. Actually, some of these tests can be done also with your doctor. I remember when I was going through a thing and I couldn't remember nothing. My mind was all confused. And I told my primary doctor about it. And so she said, oh, no, I don't. Let's check. And she gave me, these were some brain functioning tests at the time. And so it showed that, and plus she did a blood workup. So doing the blood workup, taking that, she was able to see that my body, oh my God, my vitamin D level was so low. I mean, so low that it was affecting my brain. That's why I tell you all, your vitamin D3, take your vitamin D. You need it. It was affecting my brain. So I thought I was experiencing early dementia. So I thank her for taking that time out with me. So here go the first one. Mental inventory. Are you all ready? We'll begin with orientation questions. You ask the person, or have the person ask you, who are you? Where are you? When did you wake up? Can you remember with whom you had lunch? These are orientation questions. Now, if that person cannot answer these types of questions, it indicates that there is a problem. There is a problem. Yes, Stephanie, she said vitamin D3 is very important. If they can't answer the orientation questions, who are you? Where are you? When did you wake up? Can you remember with whom you had lunch? Orientation means, we get in here getting information. All right. Number 2, speech and language. This part of this exam going to evaluate the speech center of the brain, the speech centers of the brain. You're exercising, you're seeing if this thing working. So you're going to repeat the sentence, or have them to repeat the sentence. No ifs, ands, and buts. No ifs, ands, and buts. If the subject can't repeat this clearly and fluently, it means trouble. No ifs, ands, and buts. You'll be surprised how many people might not be able to say that fluently. That means now the speech center of the brain is being affected. All right, number 3. Have the person to read a short sentence aloud. Whatever book you choose to get the sentence from, or make it up yourself, you have them to read it aloud, okay? Then after you have them to read it aloud, and I'm going to tell you why it's best to let them do it aloud. Have them to write that same sentence from memory. Soon as they read it aloud, have them to write it from memory. I remember that because you read it aloud, then you're speaking with your ear, you're hearing it, right? Have them to write it from memory, or you have them to do you. Great test. Next, point to objects such as maybe a pen, a ring, or watch. And then you ask the person to name the objects without pausing. Whatever objects you point to. You can start with 3. And then you want to exercise it. Then maybe the next time you want to get ready to take it, go to 4. Then go to 5. What you're doing, you're exercising your brain. And you name them objects without saying pen, let's see, ring, or no, pen, ring, watch. Pen, ring, watch. Pen, ring, watch, ball. I just added something. Okay? After naming the inanimate objects, ask something like this. This is going to blow you. How many animals can you name in 1 minute? How many animals can you name in 1 minute? The subject should be able to name at least 15 or 20 animals in 1 minute. Or you. If they get fewer than 10, it indicates a loss of language ability. Okay? If you get less than 10, then there go again with our brain. The language ability now have become affected. Finally, ask that person to spell world backwards. World backwards. D-L-R-O-W. D-L-R-O-W. World backwards. Failing this test could be significant. I just gave you a lot just in 3. Just in the third one. That's why I said go to my YouTube where you can really sit down and look at it. It's Check In with Mama Wade. Number 4. We're still on good time. Motor functions. Motor functions. Give the subject crossover commands, such as put the right hand over the left ear. Crossover command. Your right hand over your left ear, right? Can that person comb his hair or tie his shoe? Can the person comb his hair or tie his shoe? Right? So we got crossover commands. Put your right hand over your left ear. Put your left hand over. You're giving them crossover command. Not to confuse them, but to see how are your motor skills working. Can you tie your shoe? Can you comb your hair? All of that is very important. Bless you, son. He says, good stuff, Mom. Number 5, the higher intelligence abilities. The higher intelligence abilities. You ready? This test function of the frontal lobe, which controls the executive function. Okay? So ask the subject to make a fist with one hand and strike the table. Then ask them to strike the table with an open hand. So you're asking that person to make a fist with one hand and strike the table. Then you're asking him to strike the table with the open hand. Now, ask the subject to then alternate the hands. So in other words, I make a fist with my right hand and I strike the table. And then with my left hand, I slap the table. So I'm alternating now with I got to smile. Intelligence skill. I'm changing hands. I'm changing the function. Fist, smack, smack, fist. Okay? All right. Woo. One hand is open as the other hand is a fist. Give the subject several attempts before noting any failures. And don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged if you like, oh, God, I don't know why I forgot to close the fist and slap. Don't get discouraged, please. Next, ask simple arithmetic problems like subtracting 14 from 100. Simple arithmetic problems. You remember how at the beginning I said how important it is for us to do these math problems. 1 plus 1. 1 take away 1. To do them, to see how your higher intelligence, your frontal lobe, the executive function is working. Because a lot of people can't do it in their head. I got a son, his name is Dwayne Wade, that can work a problem in his head, and I'll be like, wait a minute, I got to get a calculator, or I got to get me a pencil. But guess what? I've always had that problem. And maybe mom, at the time, mama wasn't educated about it and knew, okay, it might be an issue going on with my kid's frontal lobe here. Because she have to write down something in order to work that thing out. 100 take away 14. Oh, you might say, well, I know that right off. But check other people. You remember you can do yourself, have somebody to do you, and they might not give you that problem. They might give you another one. But what's being tested here is your frontal lobe, which is the executive, which controls the executive function. Okay, next. Ask the subject to copy shapes onto a paper, the different shapes, square, circle, rectangle. There are a whole lot of shapes. You can ask them to copy these shapes onto a paper. Finally, have that subject to draw a 3-dimensional picture like flowers. What are you testing here? This is your higher intellectual abilities, which is connected to your frontal lobe, which controls your executive function. Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good. Let's go to number 6. Long-term memory. Ask the subject to recall something from the recent past. Then to check out your long-term memory. For example, ask him to or her to name the last 4 presidents of the United States. Ask them to name the last one. If you notice when you go into a hospital and you go in and you didn't have maybe a seizure or something like that, they ask you, who's the president of the United States? And if you remember, you've seen my show with Dwayne Wade Sr., you remember when they asked him when he had got dizzy and passed out before he found out he had pancreatic cancer, that they asked him, who's the president of the United States? And he said he woke up and he, cussing and hollering about President Obama. But he wasn't. It's not funny, really, I know, but he wasn't. It was President Trump. So your long-term memory can be affected as well. Next, give the subject a list of 4 unrelated words and ask him to repeat them. For example, tree, car, Paris, store. Have them to repeat it, right? Then distract him or her for 4 minutes by giving them a math problem, right? They done repeated the words. Now you give them a math problem. Don't give them nothing too hard. Then after 4 minutes, wait 4 more minutes, and ask him to remember the 4 words. And 3 out of 4 of them words is acceptable. When you do that, you take that brain function test, you're actually being able to see How is my brain functioning? Or, okay, there is a problem, right? And you take that problem to your physician, you know, and you let them know, I could, my long-term memory is whacked. I couldn't remember the last four presidents, or my speech center of my brain is gone because I couldn't say no ifs, ands, and buts, or you might have something else that you want to put up there for the person to say. But what you're doing, you're seeing how your brain is functioning. So I hope them tests actually help you. And if you think there's a problem, if you suspect problems with you or someone else, it's best to discover what the problem is as quickly as possible and fix it. It is important that a competent professional carries out additional tests. Now you would get additional tests because that was basically a preliminary test. Now it's great that you get additional tests, such as a physical exam. You remember I told you she had to take the blood test to find out what was happening. Why was I feeling like I was in a dimensional state? Psychological tests, neurological exams, CAT scans, MRIs, and brain wave tests, and take a complete history of that person. So when you give that person a test, or you have that person to test you, then you go to the extra step. And you go, and now you get into a professional place. You got a primary doctor, it's time to talk to her. She said, well, I don't think so. Well, if you don't, could you write me a script anyway so that I can see a neurologist, or I can see, and then could you take a blood test? Ask for them. Your insurance probably would pay for it because this is very serious. This is my brain organ. This is what controls every process that regulates my body. I can't just act like it don't exist. I have to. Some of us, I put the key down, and I had to do the same thing. I talked to somebody professionally because 1-2 times, okay, but for it to keep happening, my body was diseased with diabetes for so long, and eventually, I believe it to have some type of effect. To have blood pressure, just the body being diseased with certain things, and it messed with my brain to the point where, by me being a Christian, I believe that I could ask the Holy Ghost anything. I say, Holy Ghost, could you take me to my key? And it'll take me in that area. And I be looking around, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe have some of it happen to some of you, or you're almost frantic. And then you walk away. I walked away. And I said, Holy Spirit, I need you to help me. Take me right back to that area. And if the key was a snake, it would have bit me. It would be right there. And we're going to talk about the power of the brain too. Oh, it's a lot that's connected with our brain function. So get ready to close out with this piece of information here. Maintaining a healthy brain. Once we identify that there's an issue or not, it's all about maintaining. Same thing I was teaching last season with the diabetes, the high blood pressure, or cholesterol issue, or whatever you got going on with your body. The key is maintenance, maintaining it. Just because your number done got low, A1C people, don't mean you snap out. You got to maintain now to make sure, because you are at risk to go up again, because it's forever, it's in your body. So you have to maintain whatever condition that's happening in your body, right? So it's the same thing with your brain. You got to maintain to keep that thing healthy. The brain needs, not wants, it needs good blood supply and adequate oxygen supply, as well as proper nutrients. So, what you eat and drink can poison your brain. What you eat and drink can poison your brain. Stay with me. Chemicals that don't occur naturally in the brain are potential poisons. The degree of poisoning is related to how much and the concentration of that chemical that's consumed. So what you eat and drink, that's why we're trying to get on the better health, better me, healthy eating. I'm going to have chefs on here. I'm going to have different people to come on here that's going to bring you either more nutritional information, and we're going to talk about it because I want you to be aware, man. I want you to be your better health, better me self. I do. The brain also needs, here it go, which a lot of you all don't do it, rest. Not want rest, it needs rest. Now, there's a difference between rest and relaxation. Did you know that? Oh, I'm just going to relax here a while. There's a difference. Rest means temporarily shutting down some brain functions. Temporarily shutting it down. Getting that brain into a resting stage requires discipline and concentration. To get it in a resting stage, everything shut off. Everything. That phone, I'm almost getting emotional with it because I know how the phone have came and robbed people of rest. Your job have came and robbed you of rest. Oh, I get along good on 3-4 hours of sleep. You ain't sleeping. You're not resting your brain so that your muscle and your cells can redirect itself, recharge itself. You heard me say that every year we have brain cell lost. So that's not going to work. That's going to bring on some issues. So resting your brain is a necessity. Somebody type it in there. Resting my brain is a necessity. And you wonder why you have some of the battles you have mentally. You don't rest your brain. You always got your brain, just like you on the go, you got your brain on the go all the time, all the time, all the time. Oh. Ooh. Also, meditation is known for this, being able to discipline, get yourself in a disciplined place and a concentration. And I talked about meditation in season 1, and we're going to talk about it even more in season 2 also, because it is very important. It's very important that you learn how to meditate. It's okay. It's nothing cultish about it. It's actually a necessity to learn how to bring it down. Shut everything down. I don't care what room you have to go into. You got to take care of that organ, that brain organ. You got to take care of it. Or you will not be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, the things that you do. You invest in all this time over here, but not resting your brain while you are invested. So by the time the fruit grow from the tree, you won't be able to enjoy it because your brain would have been, and you would start losing function. Somebody else going to enjoy it. Think about that. So one method to promote brain rest is to concentrate and focus on relaxing every part of your body. One portion at a time. What am I saying? Don't rush meditation. Stop stealing from you. The world got enough of doing that. You doing it to you. Don't steal from you. Something that's going to make you you and make you a better you. Don't steal it. Ain't no meditating 10 minutes and you up. No, don't. Tell them nope. Tell your kids nope. Give mama at least 30 or start with you 15. Take 30. Take it. And then you might say, you know what? I'm going for me an hour. One portion at a time. For example, concentrate and focus your attention on relaxing your left thumb. Begin at the tip and work backwards towards your knuckle. Just take concentration. After spending several seconds on this, move to the index finger and continue to do this for your entire body. I cannot explain to you the gratification that comes when your body is in a meditative state. I went in I call it my power plant room, where I go in to get my power. And I remember going in, I had everything set the way I would like to have it set. I read my scripture before I get started, the one that was chosen for me. And it got chosen out of the book of Psalms. I choose to light me some relaxing candles, like lavender is good. Eucalyptus is good. Close that door. On my floor, I have my pallet laid out. And I have a blanket over that, a covering. And I have me like 2 nice pillows for my head. And I go for it. And I just was going to be in there an hour. I was in there almost 2. Oh my God, the places that my body and my mind took me. Amazing. It'll take your spirit to a place that it never saw before. Opening up, and you be like, wow, what is this? It's like you have this, it ain't like you have this connection with the spirit world, with the universe that you never had before. It's so much to you than what you see. And this brain, this complex organ that God gave us, can take us to these higher heights. Another method to improve your brain function is to include physical exercise for 20 minutes 3 times a week. This increases the blood and oxygen supply to your brain. Your brain needs it. You all got an oximeter at home? Check your oximeter. Let me just say, reminds me of be still and know that I am God. Girl, you better stop it. If we was in church, you know I hit you. Yes. Be still. Breathe. I'm going to do a teaching on how to breathe. Breathe. And release. The communication that happens between your breathing and your cells and your mind, and your body get the experience, baby, it's on another level. Your breathing actually opens up your spiritual realm to a place of pure delight, pure pleasure. It's like you're right. I felt I was right there in the presence of the light. And he is the light of the world. Woo! I'm telling you. You'll walk out of that house or you'll walk out of that room. You'll find yourself more relaxed. The children won't really start getting on your nerve. You might not even want to be bothered with the phone. Or because you didn't have that experience, you might feel led to call someone and just to check on them, see how they're doing, share your experience. Or it might be somebody that you're in a spat or something with, just something that went on. And you might want to say, you know what? This not really, it's not really that important. If I've hurt your feelings, or if I said something hurt your feelings, could you forgive me? Things happen when you take the time to rest, meditate, concentrate, put in that discipline. Positive things happen for your life. And guess what? You're going to want to do it again and again and again. Why? Because it's bringing out the better you. So I pray that today's teaching helps someone. And remember, go and subscribe. I have had a few people to do it, and I thank you all that took time to do it, because I know it takes time to turn off what you're watching and then put on YouTube and then search, check in with Mama Wade, and then to watch or subscribe. I know it takes time, especially if I'm not that much on your mind. But if I'm one of them people that you really want to see, then you'll do it. You'll do it. But go in and check this out again with somebody. Take that brain function test. Don't take it lightly. This is serious to be your better health, better me self. Once again, my website is www.jolindawade.com. Send me something. If you believe that you have something that you can impact my program with, that you can be able to share, and I do come on 10 a.m. Pacific time. You find out what, and that would be 1 Eastern time. That would be 12 Pacific time. And if you believe that you can sacrifice that time and be able to come on and be able to share with somebody how we can make them aware of what's going on, then hit my website. Go to my YouTube channel, check in with Mama Wade, and check out all the things that we have done so far in season 2. It'll take you back. You'll see some other things that I did when I was in the pulpit. I think I got some pulpit messages on there when I used to be in the city of Chicago. But either way it go, it's going to be something that's going to benefit and feed your spirit, your soul, and your body. So this is Check In with Mama Wade. Checking out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye. In the broadcast.